Me and my mom used to live in a rented house. It was a really big house. It had three doors. One door that led to the garage, one door that led to the backyard, and of course the front door. One particular week, my mom ended up getting pretty sick. I think she had pneumonia, and as a result, she had to stay in the hospital for I think about 1 week and a half or so. So, for the first time in my teenage life, I was alone for an entire week. This was the longest that I have ever been alone. And I did not take it well. I mean, I was excited at first, but then things started to get kind of uneasy, kind of weird. I felt washed. I felt like somebody was watching me, like somebody wanted to hurt me. Things started to become really weird. Things started getting weird. So day one went by pretty smoothly. Nothing happened. I woke up in the morning. I made breakfast. I went about my day as usual. And I did stuff. I went to bed early. It was fine. The second day, I went about as usual. I woke up, I made breakfast, I started doing my things, and I started noticing right around maybe noon. No, right around maybe like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I started noticing that something was off about the house. Doors were opened. Some things were not where they previously were, but I didn't think much of it. And then of course, come night, when I go to bed, I started hearing weird noises. And I thought, like, okay, it's probably the neighbors, the houses are pretty connected. I didn't want to think too much of it. And so I just went to bed, I went to sleep. I tried to sleep and ignore the noises. And then came day three. And this is kind of like, it slowly started like, the first few days were like completely normal. Then came day three, and again, most of the day went about as normal. I did think that a few things was weird, but I didn't think too much of it. And then right around maybe like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., things started to get a little bit weird. I started noticing that like doors were like opened, and on day three, right around maybe like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I think it was like 3 a.m. because I remember that I was like freaking out about 3 a.m. On day three, something weird happened right around 3 a.m. I started hearing really like loud noises, and I got scared. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like pretty loud noises. Like it felt like somebody was in the house. And I remember that I was like pretty scared, and I didn't sleep for the rest of the night because I didn't know what was happening. And I think I went to bed right around maybe 7 or 8 a.m. when I finally like calmed down, and like told myself like it was probably noises from the neighbor. You're uneasy. This is the first time that you've been alone. Don't think too much about it. So I went to bed right around 8 p.m. and I didn't think too much about it. Then came day 4, and this is when things started beginning to get not good for me. So I woke up pretty late because I hadn't slept the day before. So I woke up around maybe like 2 p.m. and I I started becoming really uneasy, really paranoid, very anxious. I could not explain the noises that I had heard the day before and the noises that I had heard the day before that. But I thought, like, okay, I'm on edge, I'm alone for the first time, it's normal. And I kept trying to, like, rationalize it, but I hadn't slept very well, so of course things, I wasn't feeling okay. And this weird fear that I had, so I decided, okay, every night I'm going to check the doors to make sure that they're all locked, and I'm gonna check all the bedrooms to make sure that they're all empty, just to be safe. It's gonna help me feel a little bit better. I'm on edge, I'm paranoid, it's only the fourth day, it's gonna be fine, I'm pretty tired, I'm gonna go to bed early, it's going to be fine. So of course I do all of that, I go to bed. So come, and right on the clock, 3 a.m., things start to get weird again. I start hearing noises, I'm scared, and at this point I think, like, okay, something's off, somebody is in the house, somebody's trying to hurt me, right? And I'm really scared. Right around this point, everything just completely took a turn, and I started spending every single day paranoid, anxious, uneasy, feeling washed, feeling like somebody was going to hurt me. I was convinced that somebody was going to hurt me. And I would spend literally every day just prancing around the house, checking every single door, like literally obsessively checking every single door, every single room, literally every 5 seconds, holding weapons, literally every day, literally paranoid. That's all I did, 24/7. I started spending the rest of the days literally, and I would hear noises every day, and I thought, somebody's going to hurt me, somebody's trying to hurt me, there's somebody here. And I would check every single door and every single room, and there wasn't anybody. There wasn't anybody in any bedroom. All the doors were closed, and I kept hearing noises, and I kept hearing things, and every single day I would not sleep, I would not eat, I would just be constantly paranoid, just parading around the house, desperate, paranoid, anxious, thinking that somebody was going to hurt me. I stopped sleeping, I stopped eating. That's all I would do. All I would do. And of course, all of this culminated into me having a meltdown. I literally just laid down in my living room, with my head between my knees, and I just had a huge meltdown. I started crying, I started, screaming, because I didn't know what was happening. I thought that my mind had finally betrayed me. And I remember telling myself that I was going to put myself in a mental hospital as soon as my mom got home. I was going to literally put myself in a mental hospital, because I thought that my mind had finally betrayed me and that it was gone. I thought that I was gone, because I'm hearing things that are not there. I'm paranoid. I'm acting not okay. I'm acting like, I remember that I just cried so hard because I couldn't understand, and I thought that it was all in my head. I thought that, my mind was playing tricks on me, and that I was not living in an actual reality. I think that I lay there literally for like 2 hours straight, just panicking and sobbing and just so frustrated, because I couldn't understand what was going on, and I thought that I was having mental health problems. After quietly, not so quietly, sobbing in the roof of my house for about 2 hours, I did eventually calm down. I calmed down and I came down and I decided, okay, I'm going to get into the shower, I'm going to make myself dinner, and I'm gonna go to bed and get some sleep. Everything's going to be okay. I'm just having a mental health crisis. It happens to everybody. Nobody's trying to hurt me. I'm completely safe. Everything's going to be alright. Mom is going to come back from the hospital in a few days. Everything's going to be okay. So I came down from the roof and I got into the shower, and I remember that while I was showering, I was having a panic attack because I was showering with the door open. I don't know why. Who showers with the door open? Who knows? And I remember that I kept seeing like weird shadows from the corner of my eye coming from the door. I kept seeing like really weird shadows, and I kept telling myself, it's probably the dog, it's nothing, nobody's going to hurt you, nothing bad's happening, it's okay. But I kept seeing shadows. I remember I was super freaked out and I couldn't like relax in the shower because I kept seeing like weird shadows, and of course I started hearing noises again, which was so much worse. So I just decided to get out of the shower, let's eat some food, we go to bed, and everything's going to be fine. So I get out of the shower, I go downstairs, I start making dinner, and as I'm making dinner, I think to myself, it wouldn't hurt me to just check every single room one last time, check all the doors one last time, to really remind myself that I am safe, everything's fine, nothing's going to hurt me, I'm completely safe, the house is fine, the house is safe. Let's just go check the rooms. We go check the rooms, we sit down to eat, we go to bed, everything's going to be fine. So I head upstairs and I start checking every single room. I check the downstairs bedroom, it's empty, I close the door. I check my mom's bedroom, it's empty, I close the door. I check my bedroom, it's empty, I close the door. I check the upstairs bathroom, it's empty, I close the door. And then I arrive at one of the bedrooms, and this particular bedroom had a huge hole on the door. The door was closed, and I remember standing in front of the door, and for the life of me, I could not open the door. I don't know what. I think I was literally paralyzed in fear, and I don't know why, but I could not, for the life of me, open the door. I was literally so scared. I was paralyzed and I could not open the door. And I remember I was literally standing there, and I was literally looking directly at the hole on the door, and you couldn't look into the bedroom via the hole because the bedroom was pretty dark, the lights were off, and so you couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything through the hole, but I just remember that I kept staring like I was hypnotized. I could not stop staring at the hole, and it just felt like something was staring back at me. Something was staring back at me, and I didn't know why. I think I stood there literally for like 5 minutes just staring at the hole. I was completely hypnotized, and I could not bring myself to get closer to that door and turn the doorknob and open the door. I couldn't. I just couldn't. So I told myself, okay, you know what? We already know that the room is empty, the house is fine, I'm safe, all the doors are locked, everything's fine, everything's safe, nothing bad's gonna happen. Let's head downstairs. We don't have to check this room. We don't have to check this room. It's not important. We check all of the rooms. We know nothing's there. Nothing's there. I'm being paranoid. It's in my head. My mental health is not okay. It's fine. I head downstairs. Let's head downstairs. Let's have dinner. So that is what I do. I go downstairs. I sit down. I start having dinner. And I think about maybe like 8 to 10 minutes pass by, and I'm sitting there having dinner, and maybe like 10 minutes pass by, and all of a sudden my dog, who is sleeping behind me, like sleeping soundly behind me, all of a sudden he literally wakes up. He's sleeping and he literally wakes up, jerks his head forward, looks at the stairs, and just starts running up the stairs. He literally just like forward. Like he was literally just sleeping and he literally just like jerks his head awake, looks at the stairs, and just goes running. Of course, this freaks me out because, you know, what could have startled the dog? But, you know, I convinced myself that it was all in my head, right? And I was seeing things, I was being paranoid, all that stuff. So I think like, okay, you know, like what's upstairs? Is there a rat? Is there an iguana upstairs? Maybe there's something, maybe something got into the house. Let's go upstairs and check it out, right? But I think a little part of me already knew. I think a little part of me already knew that. I already knew. I already knew. There was a little part of me that already knew. So I started making my way up the stairs, but I couldn't. I started walking up the stairs and I only got halfway up the stairs because I literally got paralyzed in fear again. I literally could not walk up the stairs. I literally couldn't. And I only made my way like halfway up the stairs. So I decided to just turn my head and try to see up the second floor. Try to like look up the second floor to see if I could see anything, you know. And as I slowly turned my head and started looking at the second floor, I noticed that the room with the door that had a hole on it was wide open. Just completely wide open. I did not panic, I did not scream, I did not do anything. I think I was just in shock or so. I was completely calm. I remember I started heading upstairs and I checked the bedroom and there's nobody there. I go into my bedroom and there's the dog sitting there in front of the door looking at me. I check the bedroom, there's nobody there. I check all the bedrooms, there's nobody there. I check the bathroom, there's nobody there. There's nobody in the house. I check all the doors, they're closed. I headed upstairs and I remember that I sat in my bed and I just cried. I literally cried. I was so done. I was so mighty done with everything. I was done. I was literally so done and just up to here with everything. I literally headed downstairs, grabbed the kitchen knife. I put on the house alarm, the little like beeping house alarm. It didn't work. It couldn't like, if somebody like broke into the house, they wouldn't contact the police, but it didn't make a noise. So I just put on the house alarm. I headed upstairs. I locked myself in my bedroom with the dog. I literally opened the closet door and I just lay there in the closet and I just fell asleep. I literally decided that I was not gonna deal with this anymore. I am done. I shut off the world. I am done. I go to bed and at this point it's like 8 or 9 p.m. and I go to bed, I fall asleep, and I am goodbye world. I am done. I am not dealing with this shenanigans. I am not dealing with it. If it's a home intruder, if it's a ghost, if it's a demon, I am not dealing with it. So just no. Now wouldn't you have it, I wake up the next day at exactly 7 p.m. I get woken up exactly at 7 p.m. By what? By what, you may ask? The house alarm, blaring in all of its glory. Just full on blaring because something ticked off the house alarm. Yep. That's just what I needed, just to kickstart my day. I very calmly just went downstairs, turned off the alarm, went to the kitchen, made myself some coffee, grabbed my pillow, grabbed my blanket, climbed off to the roof of the house, and I just lay there. I just lay there literally for like 5 hours until my aunt came and picked me up, and we went to pick up my mom at the hospital, and that was the end of that. My mom came home that night. I told her everything that happened. She thought that it was weird. She believed me. She told me, like, I promise you, now that I'm here, this is not gonna happen anymore. Nothing bad is gonna happen to you anymore. And nothing bad did happen. I didn't hear any noises again, and nothing like that ever happened again. Literally. It just stopped right then and there. And right around maybe like a few weeks later, a month later, maybe like a month later, we moved out of the house, and we just left whatever it is that happened that night. And whatever it was just history, or so we thought. So earlier this year, we were moving again, so I was packing up things, moving again, you know, and I started kind of like finding a bunch of like random stuff that, must have gotten packed up with the stuff that we brought over from the old house. And I started finding like a bunch of like old stuff and random stuff that I didn't know that we had, that wasn't mine, I found a bunch of letters that didn't belong to me, stuff like that. And I found a bunch of SD cards, and they belong to like a few people. Some belong to my sister, So of course I started checking what was on the SD cards, right? So I started checking what's on the SD cards, and I loaded up pretty much everything that was like all of the SD cards. I loaded it up onto my computer, and I just put all the files into my little library on my computer, and I just sorted all the images and videos by date, and I started going into every single folder and watching all of the videos and all the photos, looking at them. And at first it was like normal, like I found a bunch of like old family photos of my nephew, family trips, all that, and I think it's really cute. So I told my mom, and I'm like, hey mom, come over here, look at all these photos that we found, right? And I'm showing my mom all the pictures, and I remember she like spotted a picture of the hole of the door, the hole in the door. And I remember she mentions to me, she looks at me and she says to me like, hey, do you remember like the one time you had that like super weird experience with the hole in the door? And I was like, yeah, that's super weird. Damn, why do we have a picture of it? And I looked at her and I'm like, what do you mean? Why are you asking me? You took the photo. And she's like, I didn't take the photo, I thought you took the photo. And we're looking at each other like, who took this photo? Because neither of us could remember taking this photo. Like we couldn't remember taking this photo. And I remember my mom literally looks at the computer and she literally like points at the screen, and she literally says, what's that video? The thumbnail of the video was literally just black, so she literally just points at it, and she's like, what's that video? Play me that video, what is that? And of course I'm sitting there like, and when she says that, I'm literally sitting there panicking, because I'm like, oh my god, she found one of my old YouTube videos, my old prototype YouTube videos. But I played it anyways because she asked me to. So I started playing the video, and we're sitting there looking at the screen, and all of a sudden a video of a woman, maybe two people, I don't know if it's one people or two people, it's kind of blurry, I think it's one people, maybe two people. It's literally a very grainy video of somebody sleeping. Very, very grainy video of somebody sleeping. And you can tell that it was like, I can tell, like, I think it was our house. And in the video, you can kind of see like somebody wearing jeans taking the video. So of course, me and my mom are freaking out, like, what, some weirdo took a video of like somebody sleeping, like one of us sleeping. Like it only could have been me or my sister or my mom, and I don't remember taking that video. Why would I take a video like that? Why would I take a video like that? And I don't wear, you know. So of course I'm like 100% certain that I didn't do it, and my mom is 100% certain that she didn't do it. And why would we? Like, who does that? Why would either of us take a video of like somebody sleeping, you know? Like, and it only could have been like me or my mom or my sister, right, sleeping on the bed. So she gets promptly very, very freaked out, and I get very freaked out, and she literally like tells me like, okay, look through all of the pictures, look through all of the videos to see if you find anything else. This is really weird, really scary. See what else you can find, right? So I start digging on the computer. I start digging on all of the little pictures and videos, and I find more stuff. I found a video of somebody like videotaping the house, you know, from like inside the window, like videotaping a house. I don't videotaping, like, I don't. There's a picture that somebody took from the roof of my house, and I will remember if I took that photo because I'm the only person who could get up there, but I did not take it. I did not take those pictures, and there were pictures of the roof of my house, and I know that it's the roof of my house because you can literally see the satellite dish, and like the view is only like possible from like the roof of my house. Honestly, I wish that I could tell you what the resolution to all of this is, what the ending of this entire story is, but I don't know. I literally don't know, and I don't have an answer for you. Like, I know as much as you do. Like, honestly, right now I know literally as much as you do. I have no idea what the hell, what to make of all of this. I think I have an idea, maybe my mom has an idea, but so I think I'm gonna have to leave it there because I literally don't have an answer. If you have an answer or a hypothesis, please leave it in the comments. Yeah, I mean, I think I know what happened. It's pretty obvious, you know, like videos of people being stalked and people sleeping. I think that's pretty obvious. I will see you next video. If, you know, recently I was alone again for a week. Recently I was alone again for a week, and I woke up and there was a cup of Sprite in my fridge, even though I don't drink Sprite and I'm the only person in the house. So it may be happening again. So if I'll see you next video. If the I'll see you next video, maybe.